Today we are here at Dr. Mannia's dental office in Three Oaks, Michigan, and we're here to interview Dr. Paul Mannia. Let's go. Thank you for having us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are here today. It's always fun to do this type of stuff, and that's always the hardest question they always ask in the interview is tell us a little bit about yourself. But I'll attempt to do that. Let's see, I grew up in the Three Oaks area, so born and raised here in Three Oaks. Currently, I'm the dentist here in Three Oaks. I've been a dentist for 13 years, followed in the footsteps of my mom, who was a dentist here for 40 some years plus. So I guess career-wise, the dental part of it, I'm also a member of the Air Force Reserves, where I'm a pilot. I get to fly the KC-135 refueler. And so kind of working both of those jobs. And then on a personal side of things, I'm married, my wife Michelle. We have one child, Luke, who's 2.5 years old. And we're expecting our second baby here in the next couple of weeks. So kind of an exciting time for us. But just me, I guess my family and my career kind of define who I am.
So what inspired you to become a dentist?
Yeah, good question. So as I mentioned, my mom was a dentist before, and she's been a dentist for 40 plus years. I grew up pretty much in this office. I went to elementary school just up the road here, and so after school I would come to the office and hang out, and really grew up, in the dental community, knowing what it took to be a dentist. I knew I wanted to work in healthcare, and then just kind of that balance of being able to work hands-on as well as in healthcare was kind of a big draw for me when it came to making a career in dentistry.
So what is one of your favorite things about being a dentist?
Yeah, being a dentist is a lot of fun. I like that I get to work in a team environment. I have a great staff, and we try to make it really enjoyable. But really, working with patients is really fun. Being able to help people with their problems, the changes that you can make for someone, whether it be aesthetically, giving them more confidence in their smile, or taking them out of pain. All those things I get to do on a daily basis, and I find that really rewarding.
So what is your least favorite part about being a dentist?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess I'd have to say maybe the access to care side of things when it comes to affordability. A lot of times we'll have some great options for patients, and dentistry is or can be expensive. And so I think working with the insurance companies can be kind of a frustrating experience at times. Especially, I kind of see that patients struggle with that aspect of it, the insurance company side of things, and I try to do everything I can to make that as smooth as possible. But I think, I would say working with the insurance companies is probably the part that I like the least. I really like to work with, I like to do stuff and get stuff done and help people, and sometimes the insurance part of it complicates things.
Yeah, I see how that could be frustrating. So in those 13 years, did you take a break from being a dentist, or were you the dentist the whole entire time?
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting path. So I knew I wanted to fly for the Air Force also, as well as be a dentist. So I kind of had to work out that timeline on when I would go to training and when I would complete dental school. I had a mentor who kind of walked me through that, but I graduated in 2010 and I started practicing here as a dentist. And then I moved with my wife through her residency. We moved up to Wisconsin, and I was a dentist up there for a year. And then I was a dentist in Indianapolis, again, moving for her work. before I left for the Air Force. And then when I left for the Air Force, I actually stopped being a dentist for close to 2 years just to get through pilot training. Um, and then after that, I came back here and started practicing again after a 2 year hiatus. And then I've been practicing dentistry since. So probably for the last 8 years, I've been practicing. But you're right, I did take a couple years off for training.
So, Dr. Paul, what are some common misconceptions about dentistry?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that people will come in thinking that their appointment's going to be painful or it's going to hurt, which isn't always the case. And I know there are some things that we do that is uncomfortable for patients. And we try to do everything we can to make it as enjoyable as possible, as fun as possible. That's kind of one of the goals that I like to achieve, that someone leaves having a good experience. But yeah, I think people sometimes walk in with kind of that baggage fear that this isn't going to be fun. But I think with the right people and the right setup, I think it can actually be a lot of fun.
So, what are some of the things that you do to calm those people down?
Yeah, so really finding out the source of their anxiety, and that's going to be different for different people. Some people are afraid of pain. I get a lot of patients that are actually afraid of the sound of the drill, if we have to use the drill, or just different things. So I guess addressing what the concern is, and then anything we can do or recommend. Like if it's the sound of the drill, maybe we'll use like noise canceling headphones so they don't have to focus on that, or we'll put on their favorite song so that they can focus on that and not focus on the procedure itself. So it really is different, and it kind of comes through like an interview process of asking the patient, what's the source, and then what are some of the things that you do like to do, and then trying to pair those up so that the bad isn't, maybe as bad as they're thinking it might be.
So, earlier you mentioned that your mom was also a dentist. So, what is it like working with your mom?
It's great. Yeah, absolutely amazing. She's an awesome person. She brings a great energy to the office. She's been a dentist for 43 years, and so just the amount of experience that she has is just great. Like the collaboration of if I have a question or she has a question, we can kind of like work through things together, more complex cases, and it's a real joy to be able to pick up her skill set along the way while I'm working with her. So yeah, it's really fun.
Neat. So, what are some of your hobbies?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know if it's a hobby, but I like to spend a lot of time with my family. As I mentioned, right now I have a 2.5-year-old, and so not that he's a hobby, but we like to get him involved in different things. So he is in swimming, he does gymnastics, he does soccer, and so being able to participate in those things with him is where I occupy a lot of my time. And then one thing that I guess I would consider a hobby that it's been with him most of my life is I like endurance sports. And so with that, I like to cycle and run. And currently training for a marathon for this fall. So I've gotten back into running. But I've done different events throughout my time. And so it's always something that I like to stay as a staple in my life.
Is this your first marathon, or have you done several others?
Yeah, I've done several others. I don't know the exact number. More than 10, less than 20 is what I've done. I got into endurance triathlons, so I've done an Ironman triathlon in the past, and at one point I did a 50-mile race, so that was my longest run. I did that back in maybe 2006 or so. So it's been a while. So it's a hobby that I've kept up with. So this will be my first marathon I've done in maybe 3 years. So I took a little bit of time off.
Okay. So in the Air Force, what is the main thing that you do?
Yeah. So I'm an officer in the reserves, and my primary job is pilot. So I'm a KC-135 pilot. Which is air refueling tanker. So basically, our primary mission is to take off with a bunch of gas, and we'll meet up with another aircraft, and we'll give them that gas. so that they can get to where they're going. And so we do a lot of that stateside training. So when we're overseas in a deployed scenario, everything looks the same. We also have other missions too where we'll move around medical patients. That's one that we'll do. So we'll pick up a patient from one location and we'll take them to a hospital in another city. And then also we'll do troop transport and things like that. So cargo and people is what we move around. But our primary mission is air refueling. And so as a reservist, for me, that looks like I usually do one flight a week. And then I also have a desk responsibility as well, which usually maybe do that once a month or something, just keeping up on staying an officer and getting through all my annual training and stuff. So, but my primary thing that I do is fly.
Okay, cool. So, what is it like being part of the Air Force?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. For me, my experience has been positive. I love training. I have lifelong friends that I've met in my experience at the Air Force. I feel like where I'm at and the unit that I'm a part of, it's just like hanging out with your friends, but then also working together with those friends to achieve a mission. And so, like I said, in a deployed scenario, which I've been deployed twice in my time in the Air Force, you'll get into some more serious situations, and so it's always kind of nice to look across the way and see your good friend kind of working through that with you and stuff. So it's a neat balance of doing the mission and also finding time to hang out and build that camaraderie.
So back to the dentistry, which kind of procedures do you do here?
Yeah, so we're general dentist office. So we do X-rays, exams, cleanings. We do fillings, we do crowns, we do dentures, we do extractions. So kind of a mix of everything, which keeps it enjoyable, keeps it fun. Every day's a little bit different, and so yeah, I find that enjoyable. So kind of a mix of everything.
So, what's the most often done procedure here?
Yeah, so most of our patients, I would say the majority of the patients that come in on a daily basis come in for a cleaning. And then the next thing would be fillings after that, and then crowns. Kind of in that order would be the most popular things that people come in for. So you would get a crown or a filling if you had a cavity or if a tooth broke, something like that. But mostly, most of our patients are on maintenance appointments. So again, they just come in regularly just for their cleaning and checkup.
Okay, so what's the more rare procedures that you do, the ones that you don't do that often, if you consider?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe dentures or extractions, things like that. I do get some emergencies for extractions, maybe patients that I've never met before who have a toothache or something like that. But I would say maybe extractions might be less common here. Probably one of the more least common procedures would be extraction.
Okay, so do you enjoy your job?
I do. I actually enjoy both of them, and it really allows me to. They're very different. The dental job and the flying job, but they complement each other in a lot of ways too. So I feel like a lot of times, again, working with people that I enjoy working with, and making decisions. And having to think through different scenarios is common for both jobs. What they both have, what they both share. So yeah, I really do enjoy both of them. Again, I get to work with a lot of good people and get to do things that I like. Dentistry in particular allows me to tap into my my art desire, and then combines that with science. So. The medical side of things, and then also being able to do things, work with my hands on the dental side of things makes it really enjoyable, and that's why I like that job.